Alele. So in Cameroon, we speak our main language is French and English, but I'm from the Fontem tribe, and so we speak a specific language called Bangwa. So it's specific to my tribe, so I'll speak in that language. Lelenge Forlefac. My name's Forlefac Fontem. I'm a computer science and engineering major at The Ohio State University. I'm currently a senior, graduating in December of 2021. And I'm from Columbus. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, but I'm from Yaoundé, Cameroon in West Africa. I would say being a computer science major, there's a lot of benefits and cool aspects in different fields that I could have gone into. And I just really like how with the computer you can be very creative with the work that you do. And there's a lot of options that you have. If you go into machine learning, you can work into different aspects of industry. You can work into AI for cars, AI for cameras and surveillance, AI for anything that you find you're interested in. And so I just like the versatility of it and the different opportunities that I can go into. So with computer science, there's two different tracks you can take. You can take the Bachelor's of Science or the Bachelor's of Arts. I took the Bachelor's of Science track, which has a lot more engineering classes rather than arts and sciences classes. And so freshman year, a lot of my classes were intro level courses. So intro to engineering, learning the basics and fundamentals of how maybe circuit works, how SolidWorks works, giving you a full understanding of the whole engineering field. But as you go into your curriculum and throughout the years, you start to specialize into more different things. And so learning about different software techniques and the different other aspects of computer science that you really need to understand. So like fundamentals of algorithms and things like that. So everyone usually takes pretty much the same classes their sophomore and junior year. And so as you get into your end of your junior year, your senior year, you can start going into a certain specialization that you're interested in. And so that may be software, that could be AI, and that could be working on operating systems and so forth. But that allows you to really, the first few years, you learn and you figure out what really interests you. And then as you're getting closer to graduation, you can specialize into a specific area and then take your career from there. Yeah, I would say I had a lot of resistance when I first expressed interest in engineering as to they wanted me to be in the medical area, right, in the medical field. And so at first they thought, they thought I would, my mom wanted me to be a pharmacist. But I told her that, I showed her the opportunities that come out of this, and a lot of good things that came out of it. I had 3 successful internships, one at JP Morgan Chase and then one at Lyft. And through those experiences, they were able to learn, how valuable this field is. And I was able to change their perception of what they thought about engineering. I would say there's a lot of different online courses that offer a lot of different things you can learn. I would say first figure out a language that you would like to learn, a programming language to be more specific. And so usually Ohio State teaches Java, and usually that's what a lot of their components are made out of. And so I think if you're going to OSU specifically, and you're trying to see, okay, maybe should I do computer science, yes or no? I would say try to learn Java, figure out how to program in that language, and as well as the different things you can do with that, and just take a little bit of intro courses online. I know Udemy has a lot of courses to teach you programming, and if you like what you're learning in those classes, now you can take it to the university level and say, okay, this is something I liked and I've practiced it on my own and I think it's good. And now you can say, okay, let me try to major in it and see if this is where I want to take my career forward. Yeah, a lot of my application process was influenced by my friends. So essentially, where were you applying to, and XYZ. And so essentially I did that. I looked into schools that all my friends were applying to because I didn't really know a lot of universities then. So I just looked up, okay, which ones are closest to home because it's, convenient. Whenever I want to go home, I can. Ohio State was there, University of Cincinnati was there, it's 2 hours away. There's Case Western in Cleveland, and Akron. So I applied to all those schools. I got into all the schools that I applied to, and I only applied to schools in Ohio, and I'll go into more about that later. But I got into all those schools, and the decision really boiled down to money, and which gave me the most scholarships, as well as who had the best engineering school. But I think going back and knowing what I know now, I kind of wish I would have explored more options outside of Ohio, because throughout my college career, I've met a lot of different people from a lot of different places and people from a lot of different schools, and I was able to learn, that, I really like this aspect of this school. I wish I applied there so I could have had the opportunity to maybe go there if I wanted to. So on campus, I'm involved in a lot of different organizations. One of them is NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers, and I mainly joined that organization just to first gain more resources in the engineering field and get to know a lot more people. For me, a lot of my friends weren't in engineering, and so I had to put myself in that community and make sure I could meet a lot of other engineers who look like me and also have the same interests as me as well. Other organizations that I'm involved in, I would say, are Zuva, and so I like to dance in my free time, and so I think it's always important to stay away from engineering at some point, right? Because with your classes, you're always working on problems, you're always trying to solve, you're always trying to get a job, you're always trying to do XYZ, right? But you need a break from what you're focusing on in school to make sure you can reset and do well at what you do, and so that's why I chose dancing. And then another club that I'm involved in is AI Club. And so AI is my specialization. And so that's just another way for me to gain my skills in that specific area so that I can be more marketable in the future. Biggest resources, again, surrounding yourself with people who are already doing what you want to do makes things a lot easier for you to succeed. And one way I did that was I joined this organization called Management Leadership for Tomorrow. It's not an Ohio State specific organization, but it is an organization which allows people from diverse backgrounds to essentially get more exposures to professional career and professional career options. And so I joined that organization. I was able to, again, surround myself with people who are already doing the things that I did. And I was able to receive tips and guidance from them and then just go from there. So a lot of my experience were through gaining resources and asking a lot of people questions and learning from other people's mistakes and then applying what they've succeeded in into my career and going from there. I would say there's a lot of challenges that I personally face and a lot of other people who look like me have faced as well, coming into school and looking for a profession in computer science. And I think when you have a community of people who are facing the same challenges as you, it's easier to share advice and share opinions and be able to help each other grow. So my parents didn't have an education had go to university when I first came here. And so a lot of the things that I had to go through in school, I had to figure out by myself. And so having that community there and having people to ask questions and a support system made it a lot easier to be more successful during school. So my first internship was at JP Morgan Chase. I interned as a software engineering intern where I built a mobile application which allowed people to scan driver's licenses and pull information off of that. And then my last internship last summer was at Lyft, again as a software engineer, where I worked to increase the firmware download speeds of certain software that the company was working on. So Lyft bought this company that did essentially ads. And so you know how taxis, they have the little ad thing on top where they display the ads? So they bought a company which builds those and brought the team onto Lyft. And so I joined that team, and I essentially worked on making uploading and downloading software on there a lot faster, as well as making it a lot easier to find drivers who qualified for this specific device. So for Lyft, they look at different characteristics: how often you drive, where you drive to, when you drive, and things like that. And I created an algorithm to find the best drivers to receive these devices on top of their cars. And so then I got a return offer, and so I'm going back there this summer. Coming to Ohio State, I was very overwhelmed. There's a lot of resources available to you, a lot of different people doing a lot of different things. And knowing myself, I like to do everything. And so the thing that I really needed when coming here was clarity in what I wanted to do, and clarity as to why I wanted to do these things, right? And so I told myself, I'm like, okay, I want to do computer science, but what is the reason? Why do I want to do it? What do I find interesting in these fields? And so essentially I just found organizations around campus. I put myself in, different groups to see what I like the most. I put myself in the data science group. I joined Big Data Analytics Association to see, am I interested in big data? Is that something I want to do? I joined AI Club to see, is that what I like? Is AI really what I want to do, right? I submerged myself in these communities early on, and I experienced it rather than just reading stories online. And so from there I was able to learn, like, okay, AI is what I really want to do for my future, and I focus primarily in that field. So. Yeah, I would say keep being creative, keep working hard, keep continue doing what you're doing, and don't let anyone slow you down, because you're on the right path. And always look at failure as an opportunity to grow and be better, and use that as a fuel to grow yourself in the future. And yeah. If you have like an idea that you're interested in working on, throw yourself at it. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect chance, because it'll never come here. Take the opportunity and run with it, and no matter the outcome, you learn throughout that process, and you can get something out of it as well.